Well, now let's look at our next problem, problem 8. We're being asked to construct an angle EGF whose measure is the sum of the measures of angle R and angle S. And angle R and angle S are given to us here below. Okay, now you'll notice I took the liberty of extending one of these sides a little bit on each angle, just in the hope that it will make it a little bit easier for us to use my extra large protractor, which really needs longer angle sides. Well, let's see how good that plan works out. So let me try. Again, we're going to measure each angle with our protractor, and then we're going to add those angles together, and then with our protractor create an angle which is the sum of those measures. So let's first figure out what is the measure of angle R. Well, I've got to rotate things around a little bit here. Now I've got to kind of put my protractor down, got to line things up correctly, got to put my origin over the vertex, got to rotate the baseline so that it is in the right spot, and oh, we're too short here. Okay, so this is not long enough. I've got to make it even longer. So I've slipped another piece of paper underneath, and let's just stretch this side out even longer. And this is part of what the real world is like. Sometimes you have to do stuff like this. Let's get it all the way out. Well, that ought to be long enough. Let's go back here. Let's line up this line, this point, and now we can see we've got an angle which is 35. It's 39. Okay, 40 would be right here, and it's 1 less than 40. We can count it. This is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 39. So this first angle is 39 degrees. Now we don't need that extra piece of paper anymore. Let's just write this down here so we can remember it. Okay, now we need to figure out what is the measure of angle S. So let's go ahead. Let's line this up the way we need to. Origin over vertex, baseline over the side of the angle. And the best thing to do is to look at the slight extension. I think it's close enough that we can read this off. 65, okay, 60 is right here. 65 would be right here. 70 is there. So we're between 65 and 66. So this angle would be 65.5. Okay, so then to do it to the degree of accuracy, the best that we can do, we're finding 65.5 degrees. So we've now got to construct an angle which is 65.5 plus 39 degrees. And that angle will be 104.5 degrees. So we're going to have to construct an angle that's 104.5 degrees, and then we're going to have to name it EGF. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's start off. What's our vertex going to be called? That's right, G. So let's go ahead and create an endpoint of array. Down here, let's label it G. And let's create our array. Let's draw our array. Okay. And let's name a point somewhere on this array as F. Okay, so now we've got to figure out where is the other ray going to be. So let's take our protractor one more time. Let's line up the vertex with the origin and the line with the baseline, and we've got a measure of 104.5. Whoops, I kind of slipped with the protractor there. Let's get it lined up exactly. Very good. Let's try to find 104.5 on this. Okay, so we've got some interference from our other diagram, which is also something that's real world. Just going to have to kind of deal with that. Okay, so 104.5 is going to be right over here between these two lines. Right over there. Which, when carried further down, is right over here. Right between this line and this, right over there. Okay, that is 104.5. And now we're going to have to basically connect that point that we just drew to G. So let's zoom out a little bit so you can see the whole picture here. So we've got G down here. We've got that point up here. Now we're just going to connect the two. Okay, go ahead and do it. And notice I don't have to draw the ray all the way up to that point. 2 points determine a line, so every point on the line was already determined, and I can label this point over here E, and there I've got my sum. My answer is angle EGF, and I've got the measure of the angle of EGF is equal to 104.5. 104.5. And I'm done.